going to be my first video on my YouTube channel for Miss Jackie's Reading Corner. And of course I have to start my YouTube channel with one of my favorite books. It's my own book that I wrote called Oliver and His Unlikely Friend, that I wrote about my own dog, Oliver, who's actually sitting behind us right now. We just went for a walk. So now he's tired and this is his favorite place to lounge, right on top of the couch, sleeping, being lazy. It's a dog's life. But anyway, he would love to hear his story too, I'm sure, if he doesn't fall asleep. So would you guys like to hear my story, Oliver and His Unlikely Friend? Yeah! Oliver, a French bulldog, and Toby, a garden toad, were best friends. Oliver was a curious puppy who had once seen Toby by the pond, slurping up a meal of beetles for lunch. As Oliver came over to say hello, Toby did not run away. Not at all frightened by Oliver's size, nor by the fact that he was a dog. Toby offered Oliver a beetle to eat. So by Toby offering Oliver a beetle, that's sharing, and that's where their friendship began. At first, their friendship seemed odd. Oliver was a doggy living in a house cared for by a mother and father. Toby the toad was an amphibian. What? That's an animal who sometimes lived on land and at other times in water. Although they both had short, stout legs that they used to explore the world around them, they looked very different. Oliver had black fur, triangular ears, and a stiff tail. Toby was furless. His brown skin was dry and leathery. It was covered with rigid bumps. So friends, you could see here in this illustration, the doggy's big, the toad is small, one's black, one's brown, one's a mammal, and one's an amphibian. But it didn't matter how different they looked. What was important is what they liked to do and didn't like to do. In these ways, Oliver and Toby were very much alike. Oliver and Toby liked to play tag. They caught bugs. Toby loved to take rides on Oliver's back. The faster Oliver ran, the more fun they both had. But swimming in the pond, that was a different story. Oliver didn't like playing in the water because it reminded him of his dreaded bath time when his mother would call out, "I hope you're not too dirty from playing outside. You may need a bath." Just the thought of those words made Oliver shiver. Even though Toby was a toad, he had no problem playing on land, so he and Oliver did just that. So they were best friends, hanging out, playing, lounging. They loved to sleep too. And here's Mother and Father. Then at the end of each day, tired from playing, Oliver and Toby would lounge by the stacked firewood Father burned on cool summer nights. It seemed that Oliver and Toby loved lounging as much as they loved playing. If they dozed outside on a summer evening, Mother would have to close the windows because they were snoring so loudly. And Oliver, let me tell you, he's a big, big snorer, so loud. Mother and Father found it strange that these two different animals could be friends, let alone best friends. But Oliver and Toby never gave it any thought. They simply loved to spend time together. Now, In this illustration, does it look sunny outside? No, it looks cold, maybe even snowy. I think it might be the winter time. Let's find out. Oliver and Toby wish that every day could be a warm summer day to play outside, but soon summer changed to fall and then fall to winter. Oliver would look out the window at the fallen snow and wonder where Toby was, but Toby was nowhere to be found. Where do you think he could be? Let's find out. Oh my goodness! Toby looks happy? No, he looks scared. Let's find out. Toby also missed Oliver and was thinking about him. He had been hibernating in the soil outside, as toads do in the cold winter months to keep themselves warm. Daydreaming about Oliver, he did not notice how strong the wind was blowing. Before he could dig his legs deep into the soil, Toby had been pushed out of his home by the angry wind. He tumbled out, rolling and sliding down the icy hill towards the now frozen pond. He felt frightened as he tumbled. He hoped someone would help him, but no one was outside on this cold, snowy day. He kept tumbling out of control, eventually landing in the middle of the frozen pond. Oliver was just about to leave the window when he spotted Toby. He scratched his paw on the window to get Toby's attention, but Toby did not notice. Uh-oh. Toby, I think, could be in danger. Oliver watched in fright. Then he ran to the door. "Mother, Mother," Oliver barked. "It's just the wind," she told him. "Now stop barking." Oliver scratched at the front door until Mother understood he needed to go out. "You can go outside, but it's too cold for you to stay out there for more than a few minutes. Come back quickly." Do you think Oliver was going outside to go to the bathroom? I don't think so. Where do you think he could be going? Let's find out. What's going on here? Oliver bolted out the door, not listening to Mother's remarks. He ran through the winter storm towards the frozen pond where Toby had slid. As he approached, Oliver cautiously pawed at the large sheet of ice, his helpless friend crouching in the center of it. Oliver stepped 2 paws at a time, but quickly slid flat on his tummy. His 4 legs sprawled out to each side. He tried again and again until finally he got his footing. Isn't this exciting, Oliver? You're so excited. Now, Mother looks a little bit nervous. She might be wondering where Oliver went. Mother noticed that Oliver hadn't come back as quickly as she warned. Growing anxious, she put on her jacket and boots and opened the front door to see where Oliver had gone. What's happening here? Let's find out. As Mother got ready to leave the house, Oliver had made it to the center of the ice. Toby looked up at his friend, hopeful that he would be rescued. But how would Oliver do it? Thinking quickly, Oliver reached down and put Toby gently in his mouth, careful not to hurt his friend. Toby immediately felt safe, even enjoying the warm, wet sensation of Oliver's mouth compared to the cold snow and ice. With Toby safe in his mouth, Oliver carefully walked back to his house. He heard his mother calling out to him, "Oliver, Oliver, where have you been? I have been so worried." Mother's face softened as she saw Toby's big eyes peering out from Oliver's mouth. "Let's go inside where it's warm." She waved her arm towards the house. So here's Mother and Father and Mother. And now Oliver and Toby, they were looking very little bit scared. Once inside, they looked at Oliver's parents for approval. Oliver and Toby hoped they weren't angry. Oliver gently placed Toby on the living room floor, both of them still shaken up. Then Oliver's parents smiled. By rescuing Toby, Oliver showed them how important his friend was to him. Even though he hated water, Oliver dared to run out on the icy pond to rescue his friend. Oliver's parents thought he was brave, and Toby trusted his friend to rescue him. He felt so grateful to Oliver for saving him and being his best friend. Look, isn't that so nice? And here's the last page, my friends. Mother and Father whispered to each other. Then Mother said, "We were thinking that maybe your friend can stay with us for a while, at least until the weather warms up again." Oliver and Toby could not be happier. So Oliver's parents prepared a special place for Toby in their house. They bought a large glass tank and filled it with rocks, soil, and other things that would make Toby feel at home. They placed it near Oliver's bed. And just as they would drift off on summer nights after a long day of play, Oliver and Toby, best friends forever, fell asleep together, snoring and snuggled up on Oliver's bed. Everyone say with Miss Jackie, the end. And that, friends, is my story that I wrote, which my second book will be coming out around August. And I hope you really enjoyed it. Oliver, do you think our friends really enjoyed it? Do you want to say hi to everybody?